Finally. Geez, just finishing getting set up over here. Camera was not working. But we'll start the stream in a minute. No long introduction. We'll get right into it. Hope you all doing good in the chat. We got a full month's worth of news to go over. Not only news, but just themes starting off 2024. Crypto chemistry. He thinks there's a giveaway tonight. There is not a giveaway. But I'll be relying on you all in the chat to keep it interesting. I got my clipboard here. I got my size 4.5 font. Run through a lot of news today. We'll run through a lot. Make sure my stuff is good, and then we'll get going. I don't want to waste your time. It's Monday night. It's not the weekend. Already got a bunch of people in the chat, so let's just start. How's the music? Can you guys even hear it? I love this. Got some lo-fi AI hip-hop. That's what they call it. Let's get the chat. Let's start with the chat today. Let's start with the chat. You guys are here. Tell me about this YouTuber that got taken down. I'll lower the music. I don't even need my headphones. I don't know why I have them on. But so apparently some YouTuber got taken down, meaning his channel got taken down. He wasn't like swatted or anything, right? Do I have to worry about that? Hope not. Hope not. But yeah, this is your crypto stream. I don't have a good name for it, but I'm Cosmos DeFi on Twitter. Cosmos Joe. Cosmos Joe. Still never talked about how that name even came about, but yeah. If you go to my Twitter, you might, if you're very perceptive, you'll get an idea. I could have just as easily been Cosmos Doe. That would be weird. It'd be really weird. Channel was taken down. So the YouTuber gets taken down. Zen God. I feel like I know who that is. Yep. Just a generic background from Google. It's just a nice generic background. My overlay, that was my project for Friday at work. Got a nice new overlay going here. But yes, if you're here, say hello in the chat. If you're on Twitter, come to YouTube. You could participate in the chat. IBC Gang, another YouTuber in the house. Caught some of your live streams the last 2 weeks. IBC Gang on YouTube talks about TradeFi, talks about markets, talks about charts, educates people on how to chart, how to enter, exit positions, how to not put all your chips on the table at the same time, which is what I'm basically close to doing right now. I'm basically close to doing it. But yeah, welcome everybody. We'll start the stream now. Get rid of this music. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. We'll keep the chat up for a little bit. But yeah, crypto news, educational angle. I got some good information coming up on this stream. We haven't done one of these in about a month. I took a month off. You know what? I could do that. It's Web3. I went on sabbatical. How about that? I've been doing a lot of recorded videos. And yeah, IBC Gang, I just wanted to knock your comment down so it can be seen. Let me change to myself here. Recorded videos, I mean, they're harder, but they're easier at the same time. You can keep them nice and short. There's no pressure to do it all in one take. I've been doing a lot of recorded videos mainly because I have that grant from the hub. I want to make sure I hit my quota and then some. So yeah, the live stream is something I want to work in because I like interacting with the chat and I like the pressure. I think it works out. It works out better sometimes having the pressure, but we're not only going to talk about Cosmos. Obviously, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, of course. We're going to talk about AI, of course. DeFi, of course. Got some NFTs, inscriptions here and there, and then of course markets, U.S. government. What do you want to call it? U.S. government intervention in the markets. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, we'll keep a little bit of everything on the table here. The headline today is Bitcoin ETF crashes the markets. It's kind of what happened. But Yeah, we got some ledger security issues as usual. Talk about privacy and what that means as it relates to hardware wallets, but also to just privacy in general, crypto, right? Bitcoin was designed as a peer-to-peer system, no third party, but are the third parties actually going to get involved on every transaction at some point? We'll see. Gary G has some advice for us, of course. He's out to protect us, so that's good. He's got some advice for the ETF buyers, I should say. And yeah, I got a new AI device that I discovered a couple of weeks ago. I'll let you guys know about that. As soon as I turn the music off, 4 people left, by the way. So maybe we're gonna roll with that at some point when we need more people in the chat. But yeah, new AI device is a complementary device to a cell phone. It's not supposed to replace cell phones, but it could. At least the tech behind it could. We'll talk about Solana real world assets. We'll talk about Cosmos token launches, not ICOs, token launches. I mentioned the security bit with Ledger, also Trezor. Trezor had a security scare as well. And then privacy, we're going to talk about Shade Protocol, right? Talk about Shade. We're Cosmos people, first and foremost, I would imagine, in the chat. But if you're not a Cosmos person, I'm Joe, Cosmos DeFi on Twitter, and that's my Gmail as well. Cosmos Joe, if you search that up, that'll bring up my YouTube channel. That'll bring up my YouTube channel. And yeah, you can see I cover mostly Cosmos, but I dabble here and there. I have some recent videos in other ecosystems and some Twitter spaces, of course, or X spaces, the bird spaces, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, happy you guys are in the chat. Happy if anyone's watching on Twitter to make your way over here, at least while it's live. And yeah, welcome new viewers. Would appreciate the sub. Unless you just don't like my channel, don't sub, right? Only sub if you like it. But yeah, not financial advice. Going to run through some news. I have not vetted the sources. I have no affiliation with the sources. It's just headlines that I find interesting. We'll talk about it. You have your own risk tolerance. You have your own portfolio to worry about. Don't buy and sell based on what I talk about here. My portfolio is my portfolio. I mean, I'm pretty transparent about it. I'm about 70% in Bitcoin and ETH. I'd say Bitcoin and ERC20 is like 70% of my portfolio. By crypto standards, this is ultra conservative. So that's the angle that I take. I'm an end user. I'm not a dev. So I try to take the position of the end user. So that's going to be the bias here. But yeah, shout out again to the chat. I love having the live chat. It's something you miss with the recorded videos. What might replace the live chat is streaming myself as I record these videos. And then you would hear all the cursing, you would see throwing of, empty cups, water bottles, papers, pens, all that. Just to get a 10-minute video done is not easy. Tank knows that. Tank knows that. And yeah, we're gonna work in the live stream at least once a week. Monday night might be the slot. So let's roll with it. I'm gonna bounce the chat out momentarily overlay, but you can still participate in the chat, of course. What's up? What's up? 2 brain cells. That's all you're gonna have left at the end of this stream. I guarantee it. But let me quick shout out my sponsors. I do have channel sponsors. I got a brand new one, Shade, which is front running resistant DeFi set of applications on the secret network. Their link is down below. Their news is down below. I linked their most recent tweet. If you don't know about Shade, I like the narrative of privacy. We're going to talk about it a little later on, and I like their team. I like how they contacted me for this sponsorship. And Kinetics. Kinetics has actually been supporting my channel for and my Twitter for 2 months. So they're a perps platform on Kava built by a very reputable team. Again, I like how they approach me. I like that I don't have to pump tokens. That's like pretty much a deciding factor. Like, do I like your team? Do I like your protocol? Do I not have to pump your token? Awesome. So I got my 2 sponsors, and I have put their links down below. And I will do videos on them at some point in the next week or two, some tutorials. But Kinetics, yeah, they're built by the same team as QuickSwap that built that massive DEX on Polygon in the last bull run. So reputable team and professional. I like when people have LinkedIn's. I think that says something. I think going forward, we're going to have to be a little more selective as customers on where we jam our money. So yeah, I like when there's a LinkedIn, but I'm a boomer, so I like a lot of things boomerish. Let's talk about Bitcoin. let's talk about Bitcoin. I'll bring up the SEC announcement. We got, like I said, I haven't done this in a month, so I'm going to kind of recap where we're at from December until now. Actually, a lot's happened, so I'm going to miss some stuff most likely. But number one thing that everyone's been waiting for was the ETF. Let's get it up here. There we go. So we got Gary G over here. Just like a tremendous educator in the DeFi space, was an MIT professor. And as soon as he got this job with the government, he's like just afraid of crypto. It's amazing. So anyway, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but this is the official announcement for the approval of these spot Bitcoin ETF products. And they make it very clear that the US government, especially the SEC, is kind of lukewarm at best on ETFs. Prior to this, there were Grayscale, which were trusts, right? And they had high fees. So this is the official announcement of approving the ETFs. And here we go. This is my favorite part. I think this is the part. He says, while we approve the listing and trading of certain spot BT ETP shares today, we did not approve or endorse Bitcoin. Maybe because Bitcoin is transparent, right? I don't know. Investors should remain cautious about the myriad risks associated with Bitcoin and products whose value is tied to crypto. So I guess they don't really care that MicroStrategy was basically a Bitcoin ETF up until this point. Tesla had Bitcoin exposure. They were Bitcoin mining stocks that traded on the exchanges. I dabbled in a bunch of the mining stocks. Man, they are volatile, and I did lose money last cycle with these mining stocks. But I did have the Grayscale fund, and I can't remember what I bought. I'm probably about even. I'm going to start converting that over to the ETFs probably at some point. So I'll probably cover the ETF stuff a little more just because that's what my portfolio is going to be rocking, But yeah, we got these ETFs, and then we got another surprise. We got a huge sell-off, from 48K down to roughly 38K. And the month started around 42, and that's kind of where we're at with Bitcoin. I don't expect Bitcoin to hit all-time highs unless interest rates start coming down and we pass the halvening. That's my speculation. All the others here in the studio agree with me. You can see they're working kind of hard, but they're on break. But yeah, I'm in a new studio. That's what took me so long to set up. And I don't expect all-time highs until several months after the halvening, because I think we do have some history to go by, and I see no need to pile in institutions to pile in. It takes time for the halvening to create the supply squeeze, I guess. Whatever the reason is, there's somewhat of a cause and effect there. But good news here, and of course we're going to get more ads that don't benefit me popping up. There we go. Look at that. That fits perfectly. So something that's major is within days, the total value of these Bitcoin ETFs bypasses that of silver. I know that there are huge silver hoarders out there. IBC gang, if you're still in the chat, I know you're a big silver guy. I have some silver. Guess what? No, no, no. Collect it if you like how it looks. Hoard it, whatever. Trading, buying with the intention of selling these metals is just not good because there's such a spread on them. You need like a 50 or 60% pump to even make it worth your while. So I like the way they looked. I bought a couple $100 worth of silver when it was like, I don't know, $14, $15. And when it was like 18, I still couldn't sell it for a profit. And that's because you have to pay above the spot price to buy. There's a huge spread, like 15%, 20%, whatever it might be. Whatever it might be. We got NL in the chat telling me don't be a boomer. That being said, I do have some mining stocks in my portfolio. That's my exposure to precious metals. I have gold, silver mining stocks, probably too much in my portfolio, but that's because those prices are doing well, right? We're at a decent point with gold, silver, but I my unpopular opinion is that I don't think they are a good hedge against inflation because it's not proportional, right? We should have blown past previous all-time highs on silver and gold, and we have not. We're kind of near the all-time high. I haven't checked it lately, but I'm not surprised that Bitcoin has overtaken silver. I don't know if it's going to overtake gold anytime soon. I don't know what's gold, about 10 times higher than silver. I don't know, 8 to 10 times higher in total market cap. But again, this is the ETFs. It's a little bit different. So this is news. This is news. So people just piled in, right? For all the warning of the SEC, people just piled in. So look, silver ETFs represent combined assets of 11 billion. So here we go. Grayscale ETF, um, here, the front runner for all Bitcoin ETFs. It's a trust. It's a little different. They got about 24 billion. All right. I think there's going to be some reshuffling continuing. Oh man, this is annoying, huh? This is a new app that I downloaded. How do I get rid of this? Jeez. Can we disable this? Yeah, I'll remove this. And of course that happened. All right. Anyway, speaking of the sell-off, right? Market's dumped. And everyone says, "Oh, it's a sell the news, all the news." I mean, the Bitcoin ran hot for like a year, right? Since like I don't know, 25,000. Bitcoin basically went straight up to 48,000. The ETF news was prolonged, prolonged, prolonged. I think buyers just got exhausted. If the ETF news came like in November, probably we would be higher than we are now. We probably also wouldn't have went as high. So I don't know if it's cause and effect, but there was some FTX selling. They dumped they dumped the Grayscale ETF. Of course, that's what I was holding along with self-custodied Bitcoin, I should say. And I guess FTX is completely out of the game now. Is that what's going on? Maybe someone in the chat can confirm. It looks like FTX can't sell really anymore. I guess that's good. FTX completely demolished Solana for the time being and then took off when FTX was out of the picture. So that's good. Have some Solana news coming up, but curious. And then Cosmo Don, when Asteroid ETF, what he's talking about is that in Cosmos, Asteroid is a Cosmos inscriptions platform that just launched about 2 weeks ago. So don't know. What I'm hoping is that the Atom token eventually acts like an ETF because it's able to pull value from all the different tokens and protocols and transaction volume that's happening all over the ecosystem. But I don't know if that's a lost cause. But that, in hindsight, it would have been nice if that was the case, if that's the way it was designed from the beginning. But here we are. Here we are. We're about to talk about some real inscriptions in a little bit. Maybe I'll bring the music back while I look for my tab. What do you say? All right. So we're talking about Bitcoin still, and we'll get into some other stuff, but I like putting the Bitcoin stuff up front. What are you looking at right here? If anyone knows what you're looking at, I mean, you must have been listening to my Twitter space the other day. I'll give you guys a second. But man, oh man, what is this? What is this? It's related to Bitcoin. I'll give you a hint. But this is bitmap.game. And this is like a map of inscriptions or something related to ordinal inscriptions that I don't quite have my handle on yet. But these are being treated almost like metaverse slots. Don't know. And I did have a Twitter space on Friday. I had someone who's actually building a tooling and a protocol with the based on ordinals inscriptions, and I'll link that down below. Super interesting space. I have to listen to it again. The guy just for the first 45 minutes of the space just absolutely drops knowledge on everybody. These Bitcoin people are just cut from a different cloth. They are I think the movers and the shakers in terms of building, they're I get a lot of crap for this, but I think there will be DeFi either on Bitcoin or directly secured by Bitcoin in the near future. So so yeah, what are we looking at? Kind of a primitive metaverse type thing on Bitcoin, I guess. Don't quote me on that, but this is just the setup for what's really interesting, and that's this. Looks like an looks like an awesome NFT marketplace, by the way. And it is a marketplace. It's called brc420.io. And let me put that up here. It's brc420.io. Captions were not ready. And these are, as it was explained to me, kind of like items for the metaverse, Bitcoin metaverse. Remember, metaverse was like a like Sandbox and Decentraland, which I did not like when I went. You could see we got some items here: minerals, keys. All these things are being bought and sold in Bitcoin. But these things here, let me make it bigger. These are selling for like roughly a half of a Bitcoin, 25,000, 24,000 US dollars. A couple of weeks ago, they were like 20 bucks, like 20 bucks. So regardless of what you think about Bitcoin ever having some kind of smart contracts either on it or connected to it, or DeFi leaving the other platforms and coming to Bitcoin or NFTs or fungible tokens, whatever you think about it, there's demand for it. And I think that's all that really matters. The wallet activity, as it was explained to me, is above and beyond what you could possibly imagine for these items. The Bitcoin community is probably the biggest community out there in terms of knowledgeable individuals who can turnkey this info to newcomers coming in during the next bull cycle. The network effect there is just tremendous. You have all these spaces. I only follow like 15 or so Bitcoin accounts. There are spaces happening at all hours of the day and night, all the time, and it's not even close to what I see on my Twitter timeline in terms of like just fact-based, data-based tweets, and also organization. Like, hey, I'm looking for a dev that can do this. This is what I'm like. They're actually using Twitter for something other than shit posting, which is amazing because the rest of crypto is mostly shit posting, airdrop FOMO, and just price manipulation in general. So I don't see that on my timeline with the Bitcoin people, and it's impressive because what they've been building since the Ordinals protocol went live or was incorporated has been absolutely insane in terms of how fast it was developed. Um, listen, we're in Cosmos. A lot of I think even Stargaze when it was new did not just have this visual simplicity. This, hey, are you new? Well, isn't going to be too hard for you to use. It looks like or like a Walmart.com or an Amazon, and I've been saying forever that's what marketplaces need to look at. They need to look like things that people are used to using on their phones, on their computers. So message here from Cosmo Don. Combined ETF discount threshold is very low in comparison with Bitcoin market cap. These parties have enough Bitcoin gobbled up. I think what he's saying is that the issuers of the ETF, they have reserves of Bitcoin, and then the price doesn't quite reflect the amount that they actually have. They're still able to sell, I guess, if price goes up, right? Is that what you're saying, Cosmodon? They have like reserves or like extra backing, let's say. I think that's what he's saying. But there are people that watch this and they don't care about Bitcoin, right? So let's talk about Solana. I don't talk about Solana enough. Solana's done a great job rebounding from the bottom of the bear market. They are doing great with transaction volume, although I suspect that because of the low gas fees, a lot of those transactions are absolute nonsense, but who cares, right? Um, People will look at transaction volume, TVL, all these incomplete metrics, and then they try to make their decisions based on that. At least they're using some thinking and not just FOMOing in based on a Telegram group or a tweet or a Discord conversation, right? So let's talk about DeFi for a little bit. We'll hit some stablecoin info, hit some hardware wallet info, and yeah, so Solana. What do I want to say about Solana? So Solana put out this long Twitter thread that had like a 10-minute video in there. We're not going to watch this video. And then there's this link. I put the link for this tweet and the link for this website down below, and they're announcing something called token extensions, right? It says introducing token extensions, ready to use advanced token functionality on Solana. So like Ethereum has different token standards, right? ERC20s, 721, whatever, 1170, whatever. They have all those different token standards that do different stuff. The smart contracts recognize them differently, different functionality, all that. Well, now Solana is announcing this. I mean, if I'm a Solana holder, this is awesome to start 2024 with this kind of news, right? And here's an explanation of what these token extensions are. I'll make it a little bigger here. Hopefully you guys should be able to read that. And it says token extensions provide flexible, secure tooling for digital and real world assets on the high throughput, low cost Solana blockchain. Look at that. They're making a play into RWAs, right? Whether that be tokenized real estate, tokenized representations of stocks, whatever. This is great for Solana. This is great. They unlock new capabilities for businesses and developers that in some cases were previously not possible on public blockchains. I mean, my question is, where is this in Cosmos, right? Where is this in Cosmos? This would scare me, right? If I'm only in one ecosystem and that doesn't have this, because institutions are not going to say all of a sudden one day, to hell with the SEC. We just want to hold crypto. Every company on the S&P 500 is just going to buy crypto just to have it. No, there has to be a reason why they're going in. It has to be somewhat regulated, and there has to be guidance around it. Well, Solana looks like they're making a play for real world assets, stable coins, and here leveling up game assets. So there you go. So maybe like metaverse type items, governance, and more. This is what has to happen, in my opinion. It has to appeal to institutions. It has to look organized. It can't look like an absolute shit show, which is what DeFi has looked like for the last 4 years, right? So, and again, this is not going to be a popular opinion, but decentralized finance, great, sounds great. Decentralized, there's no single point of failure. There's no custodying of assets. You do everything yourself, smart contracts, all that. They had 4 years to get the UI UX in place. They had 4 years to leverage DAOs and sub DAOs to organize this stuff. Institutions are going to pick and choose winners based on the platforms that they can use to legitimize the tech. We in one of the first live streams I did, I talked about JP Morgan using private blockchains to settle portfolio rebalancing transactions. They're not going to use all these different blockchains. They might pick and choose some winners, or they're just going to replicate this probably and make it private. It's just I mean, decentralized finance, like another year or two goes by without some legitimate stuff, like probably drop the ball, and institutions will just replicate this and do it way faster, way faster. Let's keep going down the thread. It says token extensions have been comprehensively audited by, and they name a bunch of auditors. I'm going to assume that these legitimate security companies. I don't know. I'm not a developer. But here's the thing. The last time you saw a project announce, hey, we are going to launch this. When was the last time they went through all this? Hey, here's all our auditing. Here's the real world use case. Here's how we're going to onboard traditional investors. They just say, here's a token, go have fun. There's the liquidity pool over there with 50K in liquidity. You'll live and die by impermanent loss, but hey, at least we launched our project. Now back to sabbatical, right? It's aggravating. And I'm gonna, oh, Joe, you're a boomer. You don't know. Yes, I do know. I know way better than you. No, there's no situation where someone at JP Morgan or someone at Fidelity is going to just say, let's make an ETF for this microcap token that has two anonymous devs and we don't even know where they live and there's no website. It's not happening. It's not happening. So again, I'll put this down below. Look, they're calling to devs. Are you ready to dive in and start building? To me, this is an excellent thread. This is what thread should look like when you're launching a legitimate project. And again, it's almost sad that I'm so impressed by this after being in crypto for, since like 2017, 2016. It's almost sad that I'm surprised that this is such a well put together thread. And it's almost sad that I'm amazed that a builder on Bitcoin can come onto my Twitter space and rattle off a bunch of data. It's sad, but that's where we're at, right? We have 5,000 different tokens, and probably like 500 of them have a chance of building something useful. And of those 500, 450 of them are probably competing with each other, right? It's probably what it looks like. Cosmo Don, use case Bitcoin is offshoring liquidity. I mean, remittance payments, right? Cross-border transactions. It looks like that the blockchain can be used. Okay. Find a competitor that's as secure as Bitcoin. Bitcoin has, it's got the market cap, it's got the volume, it's got the liquidity, it's got the security. Now they're building out these little protocols and experimentations that might lead to DeFi on Bitcoin. So if I was building on maybe on Ethereum and Solana, you have a chance to remain relevant for years to come. If I was building a brand new blockchain, I would be like, wow, what can I offer here that's going to be legitimate one day, and that you know an actual company is going to want to trade on, their tokenized versions of their stocks and all that. Instead of this stuff, a lot of it has to come out of the shadows, I guess is what I'm saying. Otherwise, you're just not going to have mass adoption. And so far, decentralized finance in general, the builders there have dropped the ball when it comes to mass adoption. Everything's catered to power users and what I call reckless whales. I call them reckless whales. So, and Cosmodon, you are correct. They already have their own chains. They already have their own chains, right? They're going to be private though, right? There's going to be private chains. Every company is going to use blockchain, right? At some point, whether it's McDonald's, Starbucks, or JP Morgan. I mean, I work in the school system. There's probably tons of use case for blockchain to replace our current systems of accounting and keeping track of inventory and all this stuff, right? We use spreadsheets. Yeah. So, and there we go. And NL, you've been on my stream before. You work in TradeFi, no? I think you work in trade. I'm pretty sure you work in TradeFi. So if anyone would know, it'd be you. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. I got a lot. I don't want this to be 5 hours. Got, almost 1,000 people watching this stream. I don't want to keep you up all night, but let's go to the security stuff. Trezor is probably known for somehow being used as a I don't know what you want to call it, like the crypto version of a suppository, as Do Kwon fled international authorities with this up his ass. But yeah, Trezor, I have a Trezor. I love it. I actually like it better than the older ledgers. And of course, this is not going to cooperate on my screen, but okay. And there was like phishing attacks and all that. So a lot of the security, or like the sense of security, I should say, around hardware wallets is starting to dissolve a little bit here. It's like starting to become a reality check, right? It's just not as secure, right? There are ways to exploit hardware users if you're careless. And I guess that's the caveat here. If you're careless, you're going to get, you're going to get robbed somehow. 66,000 users. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. And that's just Trezor. And they did disclose this data breach. And I don't know how we're having data breaches, but we are. And there's their tweet. Potentially impacted data are email names, da 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 da. So the customer support team identities. So this is ripe for some major ongoing phishing attack that could potentially last years, right? Like, not everyone sees this tweet and reads this article. And an unauthorized individual accessed Trezor's third-party customer support system. Da, 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 da. They got hacked, right? They got exploited somehow, and they don't have confirmation of the extent of the breach, but it's about 66,000 contact information compromised. So that's Trezor. So they didn't end the year so well. This is from December. Let's look at Ledger. Ledger is just did not have a good 2023. If I had to say. And by the way, in the chat, I'm curious if you prefer Ledger, Trezor, or what. I use a Ledger X and a Ledger S. I hate the Ledger S. I think it's obsolete, but I use it. And I have my Trezor where I hodl, whatever. I'm not telling you, but I don't use my Trezor for transactions. I use my Ledger. It's because I have a bunch of stake tokens there. I'm too lazy to unbond and move it. I'm getting a Keystone wallet. Keystone, they just love me so much. They're sending me another wallet, a customized one. I never even used the first one. It's over here somewhere. I was going to give it to somebody, but then I realized that's stupid because I opened it already and no one should accept it. But let's take a look at this security breach here. And this is a little scarier because this was an exploit that involved some software, right? Ledger detected an exploit using Ledger Connect Kit on Thursday, the 14th of December. This did malicious code inside dApps that were using Ledger Connect Kit, tricking EVM dApp users into signing transactions that drain their wallets. So, just like if you go to a fake website and you start doing transactions without actually paying attention, your wallet can get drained even though you're using a hardware wallet. Right? It's not impervious to stupidity and carelessness. And I feel bad for people. I shouldn't call them stupid, but if you're rushing through big transactions or through transactions with a wallet that you have a lot of money sitting on, man, oh man, it's sad. And we saw our good friend Don get our good friend Don carelessly went to the wrong website because he erased his browser history and he typed in the website and the wrong one came up, connected his wallet, and he said that he lost like 100K in funds. So everybody got to be careful. It's not, the hardware wallet. Hopefully the Ledger gets their shit together, because I think that the fact that Ledger is vulnerable and they're pushing through these updates that are going to allow them to recover your wallets in the event that you lose your seed phrase, which is not a feature that I think that you want associated with a hardware wallet. But I can see how, as a business, it's going to help them in terms of onboarding customers and giving them that just that sense of security that they can recover lost funds if they're the ones that lose the wallet, right? Bring the chat. Got a live chat here. Got a live chat. We'll bring it in. So yeah, curious what you guys think about Ledger, Trezor, Keystone, and I know that there are others, but I'm gonna get the Keystone. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it for my business wallet. Some of you guys don't know. Most of you guys don't know, but I did finally register a business that this channel will then be working under. I'm gonna basically give the socials to my business. I just have to consult a lawyer to make sure that can happen. But yeah, the new business will have just gonna have just more legitimate partnerships, sponsorships, giveaways, all of that. And then, oh God, I got alpha here. About a year ago, I collected some wallet addresses from people in my Telegram. I have my own Telegram. You could inquire about that in my profile, my Twitter profile has that info. So in my Telegram about a year ago, I asked for wallet addresses. Omniflix wallet addresses. If you gave me your wallet address, something will happen. It will cost you nothing, but I promised you it would be valuable. And I think there were only 20 or so people that gave me their wallet address. If you are an organization like a validator that I respect a lot, a DAO that I respect a lot, or something like that, a founder. There'll be something in it for you too, even if you did not give me your Omniflix wallet address. So, and I'm referring to Maneki. Okay, so I got something from Maneki cooking as well. So, and Beto, did you give me your wallet? I think you did. I think it's like the OG people from my Telegram gave me the wallet address. And I'm not saying that I'm making a DAO. I don't like DAOs all that much. They have their place, but I don't want to be involved in another DAO. But the people that do receive this NFT, they might want to form a DAO. They might want to, or just like a group chat. A group chat. Yeah. So Ambito, you'll get something. You'll get something. I don't know how it'll be valuable, but it'll be, you're going to get it for free. So it'll be more valuable than that. Your entry price. Yeah, Chris, you did give me it's Bushido Brown. You did give me your address. And there are a bunch of others. There's like 25 people. 25 people. And oh, here's I mean, I agree with this advice from C. Edwards here. Don't store Bitcoin on a hardware wallet, then trade alts with that same wallet. Yeah, I mean that can happen, and you don't want you to get drained. So my Bitcoin, ETH, and anything else I want to hodl, it's on a Trezor. I haven't even plugged it in probably like 2 years. So I just got to slowly move more tokens over there. It will not be. This will not be the name. It will not be Joe DAO. I hope not. I'm not going to be in the DAO, by the way. I'm just saying the people that have the NFTs, it might not, but it might be to their advantage to have some organizing, because there's going to be a way for them to make money with the NFTs without me even directly being involved, if that makes sense. That was such a big tease, right? Such a big tease. But where are we? I think we're at the point where I talk about artificial intelligence for a while. And I'm, I kind of ignored AI for the first couple months of this year, but it's just unavoidable at this point, right? And I ordered an AI based device, and I was really impressed with this. Let me bring it up here. There it is. Let's get it in. Let's get rid of the chat temporarily. Here we go. I like this. Okay. And what is this thing? What is this thing? It looks like a BlackBerry with no buttons, right? And why do I have the headphones on? Let's get the headphones off. Jeez. Just let me know if you could hear me. I hope this doesn't affect my mic that I unplug it. Should be fine. Let's double check. Yeah, it should be good. It should be good. So let's this is the point of the stream where we talk about AI. AI complements crypto quite nicely, but it also probably complements every other walk of life quite nicely as well. I'm saying it complements crypto because it's just like that tech mentality where if you were early to adopt crypto, you'll probably be early to adopt AI, and there's like a natural marriage there. All right. So let me find my papers. Jeez. All right. So here's this device. It doesn't look like much. There's no buttons. That's because you talk into it. There's a camera, and then there's this thing that you scroll with. And it is privacy focused. It doesn't record you while you're sleeping or saying things you shouldn't say in the car at other drivers. I ordered mine for $199. This thing sold out really fast, and I'm on the wait list. But it's $200. I thought, hey, what a great first business expense. Just buy a toy, right? Sorry, guys. Just sitting down for too long. But yeah, it says your pocket companion. If I was you, I would watch at least like 5-7 minutes of this keynote, and we're not going to watch the whole thing. But basically what it does is, and the big selling point here is that this is a device that you hold it like a cell phone, you keep it in your pocket like a cell phone. It's not a cell phone. It's not a cell phone. And why can't I get the little rabbit to pop up? There we go. There we go. So if it's looks kind of like a cell phone, but it's not a cell phone, why do I need it? Because it actually does things. Your cell phone doesn't do anything, right? And I never thought about this. I watched that keynote, and your phone really just is a place to house applications, and then the applications do everything as long as you manually force the application to do something. And you have to know how to use the applications. You have to download the right applications, and you got to find them on your phone. And in the keynote, they they make it clear that this is a device that does not have any applications whatsoever. And this is like really getting into the weeds pretty quick, just scrolling down the website. Let's keep it like that. So, no applications. How does it work? Well, you just talk into it, it figures out what you want. Hey, I'm gonna take a picture of everything in my refrigerator. Make me a low calorie recipe that I could have for lunch. You take a picture of your refrigerator, and the thing just goes to work. There's no apps. Like you said, you talk into it. In the keynote, the guy books a trip, just talking into it. No buttons, no approvals, no nothing. Yes, this connects with your other applications, so you need another device. And I guess once you pre-authorize all the actions, it does it for you without you having to click, 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 and all that crap. Right? There's one point of the keynote where the guy says, "I want to go to England. Find me direct flights, and give me an agenda. Find me a hotel that has this, this, and this, and make an agenda for things to do the first day that I get there." And the thing just goes to work. It takes a few seconds, and then it says, "I found this flight, this hotel. Do you want to book this?" And that's it. And he says yes or no, and that's it. So, and Beato's talking about Neuralink. Maybe I'll talk about Neuralink next week. I've never really looked too much into Neuralink. Um, Imagine having AI built directly into your brain. I think a lot of people are going to need AI after 10 years, 15 years, just staring at their phones and like stupid TikToks and Lord Jesus, downloading digital copies of songs that cost more than when they used to be on CDs like that. I mean, I think people, someone that was in the chat, their name was Two Brain Cells. I think most people only have two brain cells. So yeah, it is a scary concept. But you ever see oh my, I think I bring up this movie all the time on Twitter Spaces. There's a movie called Demolition Man, and Tank knows it. Uh, I bet you Bushido Brown knows the movie. In the movie, Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, they fight each other, and they get frozen for like 30 years. And while Wesley Snipes is frozen, they program his brain to learn a whole bunch of new stuff so that when they unfreeze him, he's like more like an actual weapon like than what he was before. And it's harder for the authorities to like stop him from what he's doing and all that. So it's kind of that idea, right? They like before he got frozen, he didn't know how to hack computer systems. But then there's a scene in the movie after they unfreeze him where he just hacks into computer systems. He's like, "What am I doing? I'm possessed," and he doesn't even know how he's doing it. So when Ambito says that AI built directly into your brain, that's kind of what I think of. I revert everything back. So for the boomer mind, the way the boomer mind works, and if Tank is in and um, Edwards, you're in there. I know you're a boomer as well. Anything new that we try to learn, we relate it back to either an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, a Sylvester Stallone movie, or maybe like a Bruce Willis movie. Like that's how we put everything into context. So Neuralink, it's just like Demolition Man, right? That's it. So let's let's finish up with the Rabbit AI. Like I said, I recommend anyone watch the keynote. Just skip through it. You don't have to watch the whole 20 minutes, but you'll get the idea. I bought it. We'll play with it if I finally get it. And yeah, new operating system figures out what you want. You don't have to learn how to use it. No apps. I'm sold. Just get these apps away from me. I have a brand new iPhone. I have like 100 apps on there already because it doesn't do anything. Your phone, something he says really resonated. He said, "Our phones are not really good at getting things done. Our phones are not good at saving us time. Our phones are good at killing time, helping us kill time." How do you argue with that? All right. So let's go to some Cosmos stuff. Got a lot of Cosmos people in the the three seashells. Yeah. One day I want to install three seashells in my bathroom and just not tell anybody they're there. See who figures it out. So let's talk about Cosmos for a little bit. I had some cool content for the month of January. I think the two most interesting pieces of content, this interview with Sonny and this interview with Chad from Thorchain. And I really like that. First of all, they're both building DEXs in a completely different way, but using the Cosmos SDK. Right, Thorchain is a Cosmos chain. It just has not enabled IBC, which is the interoperability protocol that connects all the blockchains in Cosmos. Osmosis was kind of the first app in Cosmos that people could use. It's kind of the first app. It's a DEX. It was an AMM, classic AMM. And what I like about the way that each founder, as we're conversing, I interviewed Chad from Thorchain first, and he just makes a really strong case against bridged assets, wrapped assets. He calls them fake. He said there's just a daisy chain of risk, and when you string it all together, it's significant. And Thorchain works without bridged or wrapped assets, only native token swaps between different blockchains, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Avalanche, whatever. You can do the swap, and then their token, the Rune token, is actually used in liquidity to facilitate these swaps. And the way he explains it to me is the Rune token is tied to the liquidity on their DEX. Then I talked to Sonny and Osmosis' strategy is different. They are welcoming bridged assets of all kinds, stable coins, bridged ETH, bridged bridged Bitcoin, right? And their goal, and Sonny explains this pretty well, their realistic goal is to become the Robin Hood of crypto. How they're going to do this? They need to nail the UI, is what he says. But they also need to have every token, right? So is it realistic to think you could have all native assets? Probably not. Could you have bridged assets? Why not? Right? There's going to be a bridge connecting every chain to every chain. It's just a matter of if and when the bridges get exploited, when they break, when they get robbed. There's risk there with bridged assets, right? There's risk there. So those are probably the two most interesting pieces of content. And I have two more videos coming out on DEX. I have a bunch of DEX videos the last couple of weeks. I did a video on Astroport, which is a DEX on not only Injective, but also Neutron, which is a Cosmos DeFi chain. I did one on Astrovault. I don't think I released that yet. I think that's only on Twitter, on the Archway Twitter. And then I've got one coming for Shade, which is a privacy preserving suite of applications. They also sponsor the show. And Kinetics, which is a perps DEX, which I've never played with really because I can't trade leverage where I live. I can't trade leverage. So it's going to be cool. I'll do all these different DEXs, and then maybe we'll have a big powwow on Spaces or on a live YouTube stream where we get the a couple of the founders to discuss, where their DEX has an edge, and maybe where their DEX is taking on some risk, maybe where their DEX can attract some more users or might turn off some users. So I think that would be cool. Great. This is, oh my God, this should be an NFT right here. Ambito, North Korea is the number one most profitable trader of bridged assets. Love it. Love it. Love it. So what else, Cosmos? Okay, we got some Cosmos stuff here, but these are my videos. As you can see, my thumbnail game has completely taken off. Very proud of my thumbnails because look, this is what they used to look like. Good Lord. Good Lord. Mishmash. I thought it was funny, but I didn't realize that people actually didn't watch my videos because of the thumbnail. So look at this one. Someone made this one for me. Let me see if I can bigger. Oh, gross. Oh, where'd it go? This one right here on the left. Someone made that for me because my thumbnails were so off-putting. It's so funny. All right. So I said we got some Cosmos news. Let's talk about Noble. Noble is a Cosmos chain. It circles Cosmos chain. They issue native USDC. So prior to this, there was bridged USDC. This is native USDC. And according to their own tweets, there's been over $100 million in USDC, I would say, released into the ecosystem from this chain, issued by this chain, right? But that's not what this is about. It says here, Noble teams with Hashnote to roll out tokenized securities on Cosmos. So it says Noble partnered with Hashnote to introduce these securities, and their first collaboration is a product called USYC. I know you have a hard time seeing that. The short duration fund includes US Treasury bills. So here we go. Um, Solana targeting real world assets. Here we have tokenized securities coming to Cosmos, and this goes on to explain a little more about it, about the product itself. And yeah, it says here, Noble is known for being the native asset issuance network for Circle's USDC stablecoin in the Cosmos ecosystem. So this is a chain. If you're not familiar with Cosmos, Cosmos is about 75 different networks that are connected by an internal bridging system called IBC, which has never been exploited. Then some of the chains are bridged to Ethereum, Polygon, and other ecosystems through other bridges that are, I would call them third-party bridges from the Cosmos perspective. I don't know if that's the best way to explain it. But yeah, this is interesting because I look at everything through the lens of like, I'm an early adopter. Where's everybody else? Where's everyone else going to come from? TradeFi, institutions, you know, pension funds. Like, where is it coming? Where's it coming from? And this gives me hope here. This gives me hope. Onboarding, you need stable coins, and you need the stable coins to stay stable, right? You need risk off assets to attract the serious investors, traders, whatever you want to call them, institutional managers of funds. You need stable coins to remain stable. Circle, you know what? You could say what you want, but again, DeFi dropped the ball with the UST DPEG. People are going to trust Circle and Tether a lot more than they're going to trust these other stable coins. It doesn't even matter what they're backed with. It literally doesn't matter. Eventually, Circle is going to become too big to fail, just like a bank, and it's going to be backed by governments. You don't like it? Fine. Maybe I'll be wrong. But um, Circle is a legitimate company. This is what they specialize in. Their product is the stablecoin, and it's probably the most important product in all of decentralized finance. Besides Bitcoin and maybe ETH, stablecoins are the most important product. It's my opinion, but I think I'm pretty close to being right. Why? Like I said, you need risk off assets. You need something that can act as money on the chain as well. Eventually, when you go to a marketplace, everything's going to be priced in USDC. It's just how it is. And this is the first step. I'm sure there'll be other products. Not only this USYC is what they're calling the ticker for this. So onboarding, right? Speaking of onboarding into Cosmos. And by the way, where's that 100 million? Where's that 100 million in USDC going? Someone in the chat that I spoke with the other day thinks a lot of it's just going to DYDX. Fine, I don't care. It's coming to Cosmos one way or another. It's still a net positive for Cosmos, even if all these stable coins are not ending up on dexes that I want them to end up on, right? Because I can't use DYDX. So there you go. There you go. What else we got here? What else we got here? Oh, we got this. And you can't see it. Here we go. So this is Interchain Info. I just want to give them a quick shout out. I know the person building it is Tendermint Timmy on Twitter, and he's really focused on onboarding, as am I. And you're going to see us collab a little bit for some content to help the beginners get situated in Cosmos, answer some questions about Cosmos. But let's just quick look at their dashboard that they're building. I call it a dashboard. I hope that's what they want me to call it. But here we go. What are you looking for? I mean, let me see if this works. I'm going to type in Cosmos Joe videos. Boom, right there. Right? Obviously, you could use it for other stuff. What am I looking for? Trading. There we go. Here we go. Look, I mean, this is what needs to happen in Cosmos because, like I said, it's about 75 different blockchains. If there's no one landing page, this is going to be like the Wikipedia for Cosmos. So bookmark this bad boy. Speaking of bookmarks, why am I showing you all my bookmarks? I meant to turn that off. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Isn't that annoying? You're watching a stream, you could see the person's bookmarks. Yeah, we got rid of it. Okay. But yeah, that's interchain info .zone. You can click on airdrops. Got some info about airdrops, right? So what else can we put here? NFTs. Put NFT stuff. Oh, NFT Nashville comes up. Awesome. Awesome. What if I type in NFT marketplace? The Stargaze come up? Stash. Stargaze. There we go. Asset Mantle. Look at that. So this is already pretty good. And I know it's not the finished product. But not bad, Timmy. Timmy's doing well. Question about Pika. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It looks like they found a niche. I had some Pika tokens that I sold and I missed out on like an 8x, but I mean, I got a little bit itchy trigger finger a few months ago and I was moving some tokens around. So sucks to be me, right? I think I used some of that money to buy Bostrom, Boot, and Cosmos. I need restaking explained to me because the way my brain works is restaking sounds like Anchor Protocol. So maybe someone in the chat can educate me a little bit. We'll talk about it next time. Talk about restaking. All right. Token launches. Token launches are important. Token launches up until this point really have been like an insider's game, right? It's been how insiders kind of front run retail and get in at tremendous prices, and then they're able to sell the tokens at like 10x, 20x, 50x on retail, who still might be getting a decent deal, but there's really no good reason why retail can't get in on these token launches. Well, Cosmos right now has two different token launches happening at the same time in two very different ways that I think are drastic improvements over what has traditionally happened. This is Astrovault. Astrovault is a DEX on the Archway blockchain. It's a different kind of DEX. They launched without a token initially. They were able to secure a good amount of protocol owned liquidity, considering it was on a brand new chain. And they did launch at like a pretty bad time, the bear market, but they did well so far. And they had their token launch. And this is, again, astrovault.io is the website. Down here, you click this button called Outbid, and projects can use this to launch their tokens as well. The way it works is rounds. You have these sales, right? So sale number one, there was 75,000 worth of tickets to be sold. You put in your bid here. How much do you want to put? You put $100 as the minimum. You put $100. Great. You get basically a voucher for $100 worth of tokens. And you do this in USDC. You could have used Atom. You could have used others, but looks like they want you to use Noble's USDC. Cool. So what? So I put $100 in. I'm going to get some tokens eventually. Yeah, you are. What happened with round one is that the whitelist, which were insiders, these were actual contributors to the platform, got whitelisted. They sold out round one. So now it goes to round two, right? And by the way, I LP'd on the DEX. I was an LP'er. I could have been whitelisted. I just missed that sale because it sold out in a couple of minutes, and then it goes to round two. Sale number two is a slightly higher entry price per token, right? Because you could see here, one ticket in round one gets you 13.3 AXV tokens. Here, it was 12.35. So it's like an 8%, 9% increase. I was in sale number two. I put my $100 in. I got my tokens. Great. Well, this round sold out. Round three was an interesting one. Round three didn't sell out. And these are timed also, by the way. It didn't sell out. The way they gamify this to encourage people to buy tokens is at the end of the round, if there's still time left and there's still tokens left, whoever puts in that last purchase gets a jackpot, and I believe it's just all the remaining tokens or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's significant. And if you're the last person to bid and you're about to get the jackpot, somebody else, it's transparent, someone else can see this, jump in, and now they can bid. Now they're the last bid. And it increases the bid amount, the bid amount increases. You still get your tickets, but if you're last, you're going to get a big jackpot, right? And this went on through the night, it looks like, because round three raised a ton of money, right? Right? Round three raised, oh, sorry, I was looking at the total, but yeah, round three raised a ton of money in that bonus time as people were trying to one up each other, and it's all in good fun, right? Here's some there's a leaderboard for top bidders. But long story short, I got involved in this very fair token launch that was gamified, and it benefits the team. It benefits the early contributors who are the LPers to the decks, right? I LP'd without getting inflationary rewards, so I was whitelisted. That's fair. And yeah, that's one. That's one. And there's another I want to talk about too. I want to talk about one that's happening on Kujira. Where is it? Here it is. So this is Pilot on Kujira. This is their token launchpad, if you want to call it that. And the way this works is it works kind of like a liquidation. Um, there are pools set at increments of 4% below the token sale price. And the bids are going to get filled from left to right on January 31st. You could see the timers there. You could put your bid into any of these pools, but it's not guaranteed to be filled. So you're incentivized to kind of play the game. Yes, you want to get your tokens cheap. So you might want to put all your eggs down on this end, which is what most people did, which is what I did. But you also have to consider that if more bids go in front of you, the sale might fill before it gets to you, and then you are left out completely. So this is kind of like a way for an individual to say, all right, this is how much I'm willing to pay. This is how much I'm willing to spend. And this is how much risk I think I'm able to take. Let me put my bids here, here, and here. And if some of them get filled, great. If none of them get filled, well, too rich for my blood. Right. Thanks, Cedric. The model for pilots called Dutch auction. All right. So, so, and yes, what Ray Raspberry is talking about. Did you see Mike Ridger's expose on the pilot? Yeah. So the team has a wallet that they did put bids in themselves. I don't see a problem with that. The platform allows for it. Some people don't like it. Great. Stay away from the token sale. Wait for price discovery and then buy it in an AMM. I don't care. I did talk to this team. They have a business off chain. They're bringing part of it on chain. That's why they're doing the token. So I get how it would piss people off. I definitely get that. I just think it's unnecessary. I also think it's FUD coming from Manta, whose value is completely tied to the underlying Kuji token anyway, right? So I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting FUD coming from Manta. Let's just say that Manta has a huge branding problem, and they're just. I mean, they're pairing their token with everything else to give it value. It looks like. I don't know. I mean, let's try this. I don't care if they're buying their own token. I don't care. Ordinarily, they would just give it to themselves for free. This is an improvement over what exists, but I definitely get how people would not like this. I definitely get that. So um, maybe the FUD is warranted. Maybe it's not. What else? What else? What else? We're almost done. We're almost done. Look at my boomer papers over here. Uh, Already talked about Interchain Info. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin one last time. We'll wrap it up soon. I'll bring the chat in too. Got some people in here. But yeah, Bitcoin. I always talk about Bitcoin. Let's get it on the screen first, huh? Oh, look at that. It did it by itself. Okay. So Bitcoin. I found two articles to end with that have some interesting trends, right? It says Bitcoin set for supply shock as ETF buys surge and halving nears. As someone pointed out in the chat, every ETF buy doesn't necessarily translate to an equal amount of Bitcoin being purchased now in the open market. Some of this Bitcoin was already purchased and there's kind of like a reserve. So there's not going to be a direct correlation here unless, these institutions are holding one for one, Bitcoin for ETF. And every time someone buys, they're going to have to buy more Bitcoin from the market. So that's not what's happening now. But just the fact that there is an ETF causes other people to buy. And these ETFs are going to be in the news all the time. Google's going to run ads. If you keep seeing this in your face, ETF this, it might make you buy more Bitcoin for yourself, or it might make you open up a Fidelity account and buy the ETF. I don't know. I have a Fidelity account. Someone's talking about the pilot launch we were talking about before. You do have to finalize your bid. I put a bid in. I don't think I finalized it, so I might lose out completely. I got to go play with that later, right after I'm done here. And Cedric is correct. He says, and we're talking about pilot again, that AQLA token. I'm going to bring this up for people to see because this is helpful. You can guarantee to have an entry by bidding the 0% pool. That means 0% discount. It means you're paying the price that is being offered at 25%. That's not what everyone's going to pay most likely. But if further to the left, your bids are going to get filled first. And then when it's full, everything to the right doesn't get filled. If they still want the token, they're going to have to buy it probably from an AMM. Yeah, so you're okay. The way Cedric words this is perfect. Let's go back. The way Cedric words this is perfect, actually. So where is it? Not that. Yeah, that. All right. So here's here are the bids. Almost all the bids are put in a 96% discount. Wouldn't it be nice to get 96% off every token in crypto? Yes. But yes, you are laying out less risk because you're buying the token at a cheaper price, theoretically, but you're increasing the risk of completely not getting the token at all. So, do you want to miss out because of a couple of percent here and there? You want to miss out completely? Maybe you did your research. You're like, all right, I will pay no more than, you know, 50% of this issuance price. So you set your bid at a 52% discount, it might get filled, and then you're happy with your price. But you might also be paying higher than the average price if you're one of the most expensive bidders, right? So I like it. I like it. It's a different way of traditionally doing these ICOs and whatnot, or just giving tokens away to people that help market your token. Obviously, people are going to poke holes in it. I get the AQLA token, which is what we see here. This is the market for AQLA. I get it. I think this is way better. And I'm in the United States. I can't get involved in ICOs, right? I put a bid in here. I think I put it in at 88% or something. I don't remember what I put it in at, but I think you could move it or finalize it at a different price. We'll see how this goes. This is the first one that I'm witnessing. So after this, for the next one, I'll be able to explain a little more on the dynamics. If you're smarter than me, you could probably spend 10 minutes reading the site and the links down below. You can go do that if you have nothing better to do. But I had to read about a lot of stuff today to get ready for this. So I didn't do that much research. I just put my money in. This is how it goes. Let's go back to this. Ambito, what we could talk about Nolus at the end for sure. I'm going to open up the chat, so stick around, guys. Stick around. And then, yeah, Ray Raspberry. I agree with you. Sellers bid on their own auctions. I agree, but this platform does allow for it. Everything's on chain. Is it like nefarious? I don't know. Is it unfair? I don't think so. Does it defeat the purpose if the team buys most of their own tokens? Maybe. If they're paying money for it and that money is going to go into the same place where my USDC went, which is going to get used to develop the product they're building, there's always going to be whales bigger than me. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I'll see. And I'm not laying out much money. It'll be probably my smallest position if my order fills. But it's a good point. It's a good point. I just don't get why Manta is funding them. I mean, it's Manta. Manta has a major problem, I think, with branding and marketing. Super major problem. They should rebrand now. It's just worry about themselves. Worry about themselves. Let's get this off. No, I can't get Ray's. I can't get Ray Raspberries comment off. All right. So Bitcoin could be on the cusp of a major supply shock. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen the day of the halvening, but 4-6 months later, I could definitely see Q4 there just being absolute fireworks in the crypto market, right? We got the US election. Fed is probably going to have to lower interest rates at some point. I mean, don't they usually lower gas prices and interest rates before an election just to make everyone feel good? I don't know. I'm sure they're going to have to lower interest rates. Like the housing market is like houses are expensive, but there's a supply shock in housing, right? So lowering the price will get people moving houses again. I don't know. I think that the supply shock should come in Q4. And I'm not going to put my prediction out there, but I think that with the ETF news, the tremendous inflation from COVID packages that went out where they increased the money supply like 30%, 35% or more in a short amount of time. Like what was Bitcoin's price? 69,200. If Bitcoin reaches 69,200 again, it's not the same 69,200 in my opinion. I think it'd be a utter fail if it doesn't exceed that because there's just more money flying. There's more institutional adoption and interest. I mean, you got Gary Gensler saying Bitcoin every day, even though he doesn't like it. I mean, China's in, which is my next article. So there's that. Oh my God, you're bringing up Doge. We're definitely going to talk about Doge at the end of this. It's my last article, and then we'll go full chat, more advertisements. So here we go. This article is from December. I'm going to end with this. I'm not going to end the stream. I'm going to end my news rant, crypto stream news rant by Cosmos DeFi. China has quietly flipped on crypto amid this market cap surge. And this was like at the peak, right? This is like end of December. So they go on to talk about the Bitcoin price, which has basically doubled in a year from December to December or November to December, 2022, 2023. But smaller coins like Solana, Chainlink, they did multiples while Bitcoin doubled, right? And China, I don't know who's pulling this quote. China has said it will place great importance to the development of the crypto industry in the future. So this is despite China's Bitcoin and crypto trading ban from 2021. Remember, you'll see the charts were like crazy in 2021 because China just announced like, oh, no mining, no trading. That was a day I lost like half my net worth while I was fishing. But I think these are good trends to end on, right? You got China. You got the halvening. Like these are long-term trends, right? These little ledger exploit here and Solana tweet there. These are nice, like momentum builders for crypto, but the long-term trends are just as important. And we'll definitely revisit these as soon as we can. Now let's get the chat in. Reese, oh my God, it's one of the funniest ones ever. Let's talk about Cosmos and whatever you guys want to talk about. Bring the overlay in. Hopefully everyone's doing good. Now, I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds. And what I want you to put in the chat is this. I want you to put one large cap token that you think will outperform Bitcoin in the next, top 15 token that will outperform Bitcoin in from now until the halvening. Then give me one um, micro cap token that you think will outperform that. And then just give me your long shot Hail Mary, like you're married to this bag over here. And no one even knows what the token is, but that's the one you're going to hold and just hope for like 100x. Ooh, Reese. Interesting. Interesting. I'll put mine too. I'll put mine too. So what do I think is going to outperform Bitcoin? I mean, what do I mean, I'm going to put mine here. Why can't I type? What's going on here? Yeah, those are mine right there. I don't even have link. I don't even have link. But Reese, you said ADA. So you think ADA is primed to pump? I have ADA, I think is number 3 or 4 in my portfolio. I just have it. I just have it. Injective, you think Injective can still run? Mm, man, we all missed Injective, didn't we? When it was like 7 cents. I'm like, nah, it'll go back down. Nope. 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 Injective to great. Yeah, I'm still holding Jackal. I think I'm invested mainly in narratives, and I try to pick the tokens that I think will perform the best within those narratives. I have my Bitcoin and my ETH over here. They'll do their thing. They'll keep me sane. But then I have a lot of micro, small, and mid cap tokens that I want to do like 10, 15x's, 50x's if I can help it. So Jackal is my infrastructure play. Jackal is my infrastructure play. I think Kujira is gonna go. I think it's gonna run. So much of it is staked. A lot of it's in liquidity pools. I mean, they're set up for a supply squeeze. Honestly, they're undervalued at 400 million. I mean, think about this. Reese, Reese, you're very perceptive. You're an observant guy. I'm sure you do your research. If you think ADA is going to at least double or triple, right? To outperform Bitcoin, it's going to have to. They don't have what Kujira has. I know they have the users, and that's totally important. They don't really have a stable coin, right? Kujira is able to, first of all, Kujira has its own stable coin. I'm not shilling Kuji, by the way. I got in cheap. I got in cheap. I just think that like the way the token distribution is, it looks like 75% of it is either staked or in liquidity pools. And I gamble on supply squeezes with some of my positions. So that's my gamble. Jackal is my YOLO as well. My you only live once, but with awesome fundamentals. Yeah. And sorry, 2 brain cells. Who do you think is going to double? I missed it. Yeah, Tia, that's another narrative I bought. I don't even care the price. I bought it like I think I bought it 9 and then 12 or 13. I could definitely see Celestia being like the ADA of this cycle in that they don't have to build much on top of them. They're gonna get by just on like they're attracting so many users. Man, ever since the Celestia airdrop, the Cosmos ecosystem has been on fire. Just like the amount of attention that people are paying to Cosmos in general, maybe without even knowing that these are all Cosmos chains, but Celestia, Osmosis has done great, Injective has done great. We got DYDX. So see, I don't want Injective could double. I think Ethereum is going to at least double. But Injective is a OG token, right? It was an ERC20, and they built their own chain, and they looked like they did a great job. T is so overvalued, send it to 100. Yeah, that's why I bought it. It could go to 100 billion on just modular because people are not going to understand modularity, right? I really don't. I kind of do. It does it solve that big of a problem? I don't know. See, now Reese, I can't tell if you're screwing with me. Reese is trying to get me like fined by the SEC to talk about these tokens. Yeah, but for people in the chat, if you like actual products, Jackal's a good one to look at, man. It's not really redundant either. They do the way they do their thing is different than the other similar projects. Doc's team, they're in the right narrative, which is infrastructure. And Beto, I got something for you for for Neutron. People are going to be shocked, but I can go into my YouTube channel and I could see analytics from YouTube. The number one search term that gets people to my channel is Neutron crypto. That's huge. Um, More people are searching Neutron than Cosmos, according to the people that find their way to my channel, right? So and Reese, I agree with you. I think Cosmos is modular. That Cosmos kind of abandoned what I thought was a great slogan, which is Internet of Blockchains modular. Like that was in the documents, the website when I first got into Cosmos, and I like that. Someone like me can understand modular. Oh, so it fits together like blocks, right? Like that's like IKEA furniture. But yeah, Neutron is the number one searched chain that gets people to my channel. And Beto asked about Nolus. I like Nolus a lot, man. Ah, they're so nice to me too. They sent me sweatshirt, sent me a t-shirt. They tipped me unexpectedly for a video that I made for them. Uh, so nice, so nice. I think they were like only the only project that like they had so many people doing content for them, but they like I don't know, they appreciate my content. So I like their team. I heard from people that work at Neutron that Nolus really helped them a lot also with some problem they had programming wise. Filecoin. Okay, so one of the reasons why I like Jackal because in 2017 I was buying Siacoin and I understood what Siacoin was doing exactly. But now Jackal is a better version of that, and I think it makes more sense on proof of stake. I think it makes more sense on proof of stake. And I can't explain why. I had it worked out before I bought into Jackal. I was like, you know what? I had all this Siacoin. I sold it. They didn't go anywhere. I think they were subsidizing their network. Not as bad as Filecoin was subsidizing their network, but but man, oh man. Yeah, this is for Tank. Oh no. But I just closed the window. That's for you, Tank. Love it. This is actually the best part of the stream. People are just shouting out tokens. I like this actually. It's probably so boring for people that don't know what Jackal is. But yeah, Jackal is a good one to look into. Even if you don't like buying tokens because you're afraid of the risk, they actually have a product, right? Decentralized storage, which is cool. You could use it. It's pretty easy. Dark Side of the Podcast has done a bunch of videos showing people how to use Jackal. I don't want to pump my own bags, but I have a decent amount of Jackal token. Well, it wasn't decent when I bought it. It's done well, so I got in really cheap. Reese, you might be onto something. Proof of authority for all chains. I think it could work. Me and Ray Raspberry were talking about this the other day. We think we could start a whole network with like 2 validators, and then you add them as you need them. Because we were thinking of like this ideal world where you could start a chain like Juno from scratch without all the emotional and financial baggage, and each validator was part of a sub DAO, and they're not allowed to vote with other people's tokens, but where they get their voting power from is within their own sub DAO. They have like an outsized vote, maybe like 150% of what everyone else in the sub DAO has. So you need real stakeholders to be validators on a chain like that. I'd be okay with proof of authority. If it got out of hand and I didn't like where it was heading, I would just take myself off the network. I I think that's the good thing about it's a good thing about Cosmos. If you want to use a DEX over here, but you don't like something they're doing, the fee structure, the governance, you just take all your liquidity and you bring it to a different DEX that aligns with your values. I think that's where Cosmos got it right. That's where Cosmos got it right. Yeah, Ray. I'd be happy to do a space where I hash out some of those ideas a little bit better that we were talking about the other night. I had a fun time with Ray Raspberry. The only thing missing was a beer because I'm not drinking until the Super Bowl. That's why you see me here with like this garbage. So, see, this is actually worse than beer because I'm gonna drink this. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom like 20 times in the middle of the night, and then I'm gonna throw this in the ocean. It's gonna kill like 5 turtles and 3 dolphins. So the beer is so much better. Crypto Straka. Crypto Straka is asking about Neutron. Neutron is a consumer chain of Cosmos. So it's like I don't know, call it a side chain. It's a bad way to say it, but it's using Cosmos's security and their validator set to cut down on costs of running the network. And they're like the DeFi platform of the consumer chain world in Cosmos. A parrot. Reese called it a parrot chain. Honestly, Reese, I think that's how I think of it. It's kind of like a parachain of Cosmos Hub. If you're familiar with Polkadot, you know what that is. The Atom Economic Zone or interchain security is arranged a lot like Polkadot, except different interoperability protocol and more Sybil attacks. Ooh, Ambito's calling it an L2. That would be such a good conversation. How do we market the Atom Economic Zone consumer chains? Do we call it parachains? Do we call them L2s? I don't understand eigenlayer. I guess I got to look into that. Curious what you guys think I should talk about next week. The Solana restaking is to me, are we trying to just like reincarnate Anchor Protocol just on like 5 chains at the same time so nobody realizes it's a Ponzi? Um, hmm. I don't even really know how Arbitrum works that much. I've only used Polygon as like a L2, but I got to get into Arbitrum. I should probably use Camelot, right? Should probably use Camelot. And Tank, curious what you're drinking exactly. Bourbon? Yeah, Crypto Straka. It's Neutron is a newish chain. It's a newish chain. They don't have much on there, but they do have Astroport, which is a DEX that came from Terra. They're also on Injective. DEX is pretty nice. You know, it's like a twist compared to Osmosis. It's a little different. Different token pairings also. Nolus is going to wait. I think no, did Nolus launch on Neutron already? Nolus is its own blockchain, but they put what I call an outpost. It's a terrible name, but an outpost on Neutron. I think every small app chain in Cosmos should probably put an outpost on Neutron, like Stargaze. Hello, let's do it. Um, just do it. Why not? Yeah, so Ambito saying Nolus is on Neutron. I like Nolus a lot. They tip me some tokens. I'm not selling them. I don't even know what to do with them. Is it worth staking? The APR is so low, right? It's not a high inflation network. Astroport token, yes, I bought a bunch of it. I think Astroport will do multiples what Osmo did, what Osmo will do, just because the market cap, and I think they're in the right place. Neutron is the right place. At some point, the Cosmos Hub is going to have to um, really help Neutron a lot. How can they do that? Well, they just gave a whole bunch of free money for persistence and Osmosis to get their shit together. That needs to go. Some of that needs to go into Neutron next time. Put some Atom pairs on Astroport. Give me Atom with ST Atom. I don't love Stride, but you know what? People think that it's the same thing as Atom. Let's just put the liquidity pool there then. Um, Atom, Noble USDC. Yeah, put a deep pool on Neutron on Astroport. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. AXV, I got involved in the token sale. I'm gonna hold that for a while. I like that protocol operating like a DAO. I like that in my head. When I first started to understand DAOs, I thought every significant protocol, whether it be a DEX, a marketplace for NFTs, whatever, I thought they would all gravitate towards a DAO sub DAO structure to organize themselves. And I thought that DAOs are what would legitimize DeFi. And I think the ball has been dropped. The ball has been dropped. Maybe next week it's going to be DAOs. So promising, but so shitty at the same time, right? Ray, you'll get that. I had this whole month, I think I had 2 beers. I had 2 beers. And I was hanging out with somebody at a crypto event who said, "I'm not drinking, it's dry January." I had no idea what that was. So then I handed that person a beer and said, "No, you're not doing dry January." And then literally the next day I started doing it. It was like January 8th or 7th or something. Tank, I got 70 something Maneki V2s. Just give me a thumbs up or blink twice if that's good. I have one Maneki V1, then I have another one that's like in the penalty box still. So I got 2 Maneki, 1.5 Maneki V1s. I don't look at the price of your NFTs. I just hold them. I just hold them. But Maneki's gonna get a gift from Cosmos DeFi over here soon. I just got to get my shit together and mint off the collection on Omniflix. I have the art. ONFT did the art. It's really cool. It's really cool. Really cool. And I know Reese is involved in NFTs. He's going to get one as well. You staked all your V2s, you mean on ONFT, right? Not in a DAO? There's no DAO staking. Please tell me no. No. Yeah, Crypto Strock, I agree with you. The concept of DAOs is good because you could basically build an on-chain transparent corporation with checks and balances and accountability. And, you know, obviously you could also trigger things with smart contracts that would ordinarily in the real world be hard to get done, like firing people, right? But the people who are coming up with like this DAO tooling and stuff in Cosmos, they're not the most organized minded people. And I don't think they have really any incentive to show everyone else how to build a corporation online, right? It's just, I don't think they have incentive for that. And they need to stop calling themselves DAO, please God. DAO, DAO is the worst. 2 marketing issues: Manta, DAO, and DAO. No, change. Just change. Just wake up one day and change. I do it every Monday, basically. I'm a new person every Monday. Anyway, surprised to see so many injective people in the chat. Surprised. But we'll wrap it up. I've been going for an hour and a half. My throat's hurting a little bit. We'll do this next week. Hopefully Monday night is good for you people. Hopefully Monday night's good. If not Sunday night, but you know, that'll have to be after the Super Bowl. I actually watched sports this year for the first time since my kids were born. I used to watch like every single baseball game and go to watch football on Sundays. And I had 2 kids, and then I haven't even turned my TV on for like 2 years. So we'll do this Monday night, Sunday night, whenever it's going to work. Maybe Friday night, but I don't think people would actually watch us on a Friday night. Oh my God, got Newt. Newt's a meme token on Neutron. You can get it on Astroport, right? I don't have any Newt. The day that Newt launched and like people made a lot of money, I turned my Twitter off. I took the Twitter off my phone, take a break from social media, like the day before that happened. And when I came back, I already missed the up and then the down. So I got screwed. I screwed myself, but that's all right. I got so many Doge inscriptions. I just feel good about it. Some DRC20 tokens on doggy.market. Got some Bitcoin inscriptions that maybe one day someone will buy for way more than what I bought them for. And those will be my meme. Those are my meme plays. Anyway, we'll we'll wrap it up, and that's that.